In March 2020, we faced some worrying times, where the freedom we once took for granted was taken away from us. And yes, our daily lives were put on hold for that moment in time. But it's now 2022. And for those of us left standing here today, I suppose we are the fortunate ones. And in this relatively short space of time, there are many people who are no longer with us. Some of them we loved, but sadly we had to say goodbye to. Forever. Forever. And that beautiful garden was waiting for us when we all returned, just as we left it. This is our planet, it is our home, and now more than ever, we need to continue to look after ourselves. We want to keep it. But as the world slowly recovers from this devastating virus, there are new fears emerging that could have devastating consequences for us all. And we can only hope that our leaders do the right thing, so that we can carry on enjoying our time in Mother Nature's garden once again, and for many years to come. This is Season 7. I'd like to welcome you all back. It's all about the adventure. Mankind has literally spent a few brief moments in the sun, so surely it is up to each and every one of us to make the most of the time we have. So we start today's episode from a stunning rural location in Lancashire, which is in the northwest of England, after my friend Steve sent me some interesting photographs from a recent trip he'd done out to this location. And as you can see there, there's visibly 3 specks of gold. So that's got to be worth a prospect.
Well, hello, and we're back out prospecting. We're back in my favourite county of Lancashire. I'm out with Steve today. He's over there setting his sluice up. We've already been upstream to a different part of this area, prospecting another river system. And it was full of grit stones. And when all that breaks down, it's basically sand in the bottom of your pan. And there was nothing visible at all. No black sands, no lead, no fishing weights, no nothing. And all we need today is a few pans and a classifier. Maybe the spade and a small pry bar. That'll be it for today. No sluicing, no nothing for me personally. But we'll see how Steve gets on. So as always, at a new place like this, get these pans properly cleaned out.
Now, a few weeks previous to this trip, I was invited out to a Welsh gold-bearing river by a prospector who was local to the area, who contacted me and said, "Why don't you give this place a go?" He said if you like to scratch away at the crevices, you might find a few specks. Here's what happened earlier on in the morning before I got to this creek, where I'd been camping nestled behind this lovely mountain. And it was time for my breakfast. And because the water was warm, I decided to go and snipe it. And it's another world down here. I didn't find any significant pieces of gold or any pickers, but there were tiny specks to be seen. But I came across a beautiful quartz vein in the bedrock, with this large lump of iron, which is always a good sign. And so when you find a quartz vein like that underwater, you're always hoping that it could contain gold. And the great thing about gold sniping is that once you've got the overburden out of the way, if there's any gold there, you should be able to see it with your own eyes and pick it up. But let's get topside now, where we know there's definitely gold, in the bedrock cracks just above the waterline. The aim of this kind of crevicing is to find a thin crack in the bedrock and then remove the river gravels with a scraper. And next you'll need to fill the crevice with water, propagate it, and then with your snuffer bottle, suck up all the finer particles which are left at the bottom, which is where the gold likes to hide. So let's just get back to Lancashire and see what's happening at the other river, where we're about to move further on downstream.
There's a path here somewhere. I've been finding nothing down there so far in that clay layer. But Steve thinks he can see a speck.
You have a look. They're the tiniest. They're like that little grain you've had.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if there's anything in there, it's almost impossible to see, especially with this camera. So I think he'll do a clean up now and have a good look.
And we found some very interesting looking rocks on the gravel bar. That's always a nice sign. But unfortunately, on the clean-up, we didn't find any gold. And looking round this gravel bar, you can see where we'd prospected behind some of them larger boulders and places like there behind that big rock, looking for some drop-off points. But there wasn't any gold to be found on this trip. But we'll come back to that later. Although we did find some interesting quartz and silicates in the bottom of the pan.
It's looking much better, that.
So having seen that gold in the bottom of Pete's pan, this made me even more determined to go and find some gold of my own. And in the end, yes, I did find some gold, and it looked really nice and shiny in the bottom of my pan. And I was delighted, because that was a nice return for spending a nice lazy summer's afternoon beside the river. So we've definitely got some gold in the pan for this season. Unfortunately, we didn't find any gold in Lancashire on this occasion. However, please stay tuned, because we think we've cracked it, and coming up on a future episode, we're going to revisit this location and a few more areas in search of gold, in search of Lancashire gold. Does it really exist? I don't know. You'll have to wait and see, but I've been looking for it for a long time.
Lord, yeah.
And if there is gold in the ground, we'll do our best to find it. It might not always be much, but I'd like to think that you've been beside me at the side of the river on all of these adventures. Until the next time, people.